How the bear saved a wounded boy. Even the coldest heart can soften when met with genuine kindness. After all, sincerity, compassion, and selfless care have the power to work miracles. The hero of this story wasn't a bad person, just occasionally arrogant, his wealth coming a little too quickly. But one fateful incident changed everything, reshaping his outlook on life and those around him forever. In 2008, locals witnessed something unusual in the Pskov region. A young man from Moscow arrived in their town, fresh out of university. Despite his lack of experience, his father's connections had already secured him a well-paying position in an oil and gas company, giving him a head start in life that few could afford. Out of boredom, the young man had a passion for travel, but not in the way his wealthy friends did, jetting off to luxurious resorts in exotic destinations. Instead, he preferred to explore the countryside, immersing himself in nature and observing the daily lives of ordinary people. Rather than dressing in expensive suits, he rode between villages on humble electric trains, blending into the world he sought to understand. His vehicle packed plenty of horsepower and was built for speed on the open highway. But that very power would soon betray him. One day, as he drove past dense forests, he pushed the accelerator a little too hard. The road was already slick, and just as he gained momentum, a horned animal, something resembling a deer, suddenly leaped into his path. The young man started to steer away from the collision with the animal, but ended up crashing into a ditch on the side of the road. The impact caused the driver to lose consciousness. When he came to, he found himself already undressed and in a clean bed. Judging by the surroundings, the young man was not in a hospital but in an old village house. He had scrapes on his hands and back, and his head was bandaged. An elderly man, the owner of the house, entered the room and was very happy that the young man had finally regained consciousness. He began to explain how the young man ended up in his home. It turned out that the young man had been found in the bushes near the wrecked car. Apparently, he had managed to escape from the vehicle and crawl to safety, although he did not remember this. But the most interesting part was not that the young man survived, but rather who saved him. A wild beast lived in the forester's house. The old man had found this predator during a hunt when it was still tiny. The cub had looked at the man with pleading eyes as if asking for help. Other hunters had shot its mother, and now the animal was doomed to die of hunger, as it had not yet learned to hunt for food on its own. The man took pity on the cub. He brought it to his wife and entrusted her with taking care of the foundling. The beast survived, grew more substantial, and after a couple of years, it reached pretty impressive sizes. No one could approach the forester's house without an invitation, as it now had reliable protection. Nevertheless, the animal was not aggressive, it only growled at strangers, and only when it sensed that a specific person might harm its owner. Because of its gentle nature, the bear was occasionally allowed to roam freely and enjoy walks in the forest. On this particular day, it had been wandering along the road, likely searching for a treat, when it stumbled upon the injured young man. Sensing his distress, the bear somehow managed to drag him to the forester's hut, where the old man quickly provided first aid, saving his life. After hearing the story, the young man sincerely thanked his savior, who had been lying beside the bed the entire time. Never before had he considered that wild bears could possess such intelligence or compassion toward humans. It was astonishing to realize that the bear, once rescued by the forester from the brink of starvation, had not only formed a deep bond with its caretaker, but had also extended its kindness to others. How else could one explain the creature's actions? It didn't flee or abandon the injured man in his moment of need. Instead, it seemed to understand that he required help, and that the forester was the one who could provide it. Just as the old man had once saved a helpless bear cub, the animal somehow knew he would do the same for the wounded stranger. What an incredible story! If you enjoyed this video and want to see more, don't forget to hit that like button, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channel. We'd love to hear your thoughts, so please leave a comment below. See you in the next video.